Aloha and Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock, and record it and put it on our website, kauaidharma.org. I'm Lama Tashi. We present the classes as a way of expressing gratitude to all sentient beings. So when we do the Lamaistic, we call shamanistic Lamaism practices, the method, that is the purpose of the class, to give method. And the method is to bring out bring us into union with what we call our wisdom mind or wisdom nature, which all of us possess. So when we use the methods presented in this class, that's called the Father principle or the Buddha principle. When we actually do the practices, that's called the Mother principle. That's the word puja, which means offering or giving. And since the Christmas season is all about that, generosity, we practice Christmas every day. And if we get good at our practice, it's a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As you continue in your practice over a period of months or years, you start to find that the nighttime and the daytime, there isn't a lot of difference. You also find that outer and inner start to merge. So before we start the class tonight, take refuge, I'm going to read from one of my teachers, Chogyal Namkai Norbu Rinpoche. Lama Namkai Norbu was the most prolific presenter of Dharma teachings that I ever met. Not only as a teacher at university in Italy, but also prolific writer and making videos. And he's the one that taught us how to, inspired us to use the computer for this class and training students. So I'm going to read from his book. This is called The Supreme Source, one of his publications. And it's a teaching on the fundamental principles of Tantra. In the Nyingma tradition, it's called Dzogchen. In the Kagyu tradition, it's called Mahamudra. Other traditions, it's called the Great Perfection or Madhyamika, which means the middle path. I have a card here from my son, who is a practitioner and teacher, and it's got a picture of him and his wife in front of their Christmas tree, and they're all bundled up because they live in Montana and they just got 2 feet of snow, and that's the way they spend their winter. And it says, this gift of Christmas is the love that we share with everyone, and especially those we hold dear. So have a blessed Christmas. And his name is Pius Wayne and her name is Christy. But it says, have a joyful Christmas and Happy New Year. Holy Day is the word for holiday. Holy is the word for healthy. That's how it's dictionary definition. But holy is applied to people who connect to their wisdom in a way that it brings their inner nature, their heart nature, in a way that brings out loving kindness and compassion. And they have that attitude not only towards themselves, but everybody and towards the environment. That's the real definition of holy. So every day is Holy Day. every day, every moment is sacred. And the more and more we connect to the present moment, the more sacred life becomes, and everything we do becomes appropriate, is the best word. So this is deep into this book, but I was asked the question, what's the difference between Tantra and Sutra? Well, the Sutra tradition is the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana principles of practice that bring one to the Dharma, and the Hinayana is how people are as they exist normally. That's everybody, Hinayana. And in India, the Hinayana was the Hindu tradition. And the Buddha took birth there to transform the Hinayana to the Mahayana. Mahayana is when you change the attitude of it's all for you to go to heaven or become holy in some way, become a mature human being. Then you go from that to the Mahayana, which is the altruistic motivation that everybody must attain this state of maturity. Then Mahayana practice in the Sutra tradition evolves into the Tantric tradition when you take the Sutra practice and move it into a state of voidness. Now, this state of voidness is the natural mind, or the other nature of your consciousness. And without connection to that, you kind of get stuck in the Mahayana, and it takes a long time to clear that. Many lifetimes, in fact. But when you move from Mahayana into the state of voidness called Tantrayana, then there are many levels to that also, but you move much faster. And you move from the growth and development stage into what we call the evolutionary state of consciousness, where you get more and more intelligent, but there's no ceiling to it. There's no goal like Mahayana. So to give a little explanation, according to Lama Namkhai Norbu, I'm going to read a little bit from this. And it's titled The Fundamental Principles of Tantra, Dzogchen, or Mahamudra. The first is that you have the outer and inner tantras, or the higher and lower. In Tibetan Buddhism, there are 6 or 4 classes of Tantra depending on the respectively to the Nyingma tradition, which is called the ancient tradition, or the Sarma tradition, which is the more modern tradition that evolved later in India and Tibet. But these classifications are taking the substances of the fundamental divisions between outer, inner, and higher and lower into what we call Anatura Tantra treatises, or actual practices. The outer Tantra comprise the 3 series of the Kriya Tantra, the Ubhaya or Kara Tantra, and the modern tradition of what is called yoga. The starting point is that Kriya Tantras have ritual activity. In the final series of the Yoga Tantras, there's what we call the state of union, where you start to be more connected to your natural mind, less dependent on ritual. The starting point is that, in fact, there are many differences in both view and practice between these 2 series of tantras. The Ubhaya Tantra, literally neutral tantras, are so called because they share the rules of conduct of the Kriya with the meditation methods of the Yoga Tantra. Thus, the fundamental traditions are both Kriya and Yoga. Kriya Tantra is the general name of a series that comprise diverse systems of practice. The word Kriya means ritual or moral engagement. The characteristics and features of these series of tantras is the Kriya Tantra teachings hinge on the concept of deity, but certainly not in the sense of like a single creator, god, or goddess. What is meant by deity is a being who has accomplished realization in the human condition. And through this, you can say that all realized beings evolve from the human condition and manifest in the form of a deity. But the deity itself is to be used as a means for gaining realization to the practitioner, whose task is to prepare themselves to receive the deity's wisdom, which is simply one's own natural state of awareness. So that's Kriya. At this point, it is necessary to explain what is meant by deity wisdom. Before achieving realization, while still on the path of practicing, one commits many deeds, good and bad. That all causes the moment of realization to be hindered. But only the transformation into wisdom will give the result of higher Tantra. The function of realization, being wisdom, is to be received by the practitioner who is following the path, guided by a teacher or lama. If I am practicing Kriya Tantra, this means I have precise karmic relationship with the teachings and the teacher, and consequently, in that certain sense, I am meant to receive wisdom by the practice. However, to receive it, I have to prepare myself spiritually and mentally. This evolves from many methods and many months or years of practice. How does one prepare oneself? First of all, by considering that realized beings are present everywhere and at all times. When we mean present, we mean that for something usually that we see with our eyes. But present in our situation means the wisdom nature is already our nature. And experiencing that is how you gain realization. Once you gain realization, you're a mature human being, which is called a Buddha. On the way to that, you're called a Bodhisattva. So actually, all of this that I'm talking about is Bodhisattva training. The outside world, as it presents itself, doesn't exist. Realized beings, however, are not subject to the limitations of distance or existence or non-existence. So when we connect to them through our practice, we are preparing ourselves properly. It is always possible to receive their wisdom. But what are we receiving is the own experience of our own innate nature as this wisdom. Obviously, rules depend on specific conditions of time, place, and conduct. That is a universally applied principle. It is we who have to assign limits to ourselves on the basis of our needs and attachment. Thus, to prepare ourselves to receive connection to our own innate wisdom by the methods of the deity, we start with the relative body. And that's what we're going to apply these practices to tonight. But first, we take refuge. As we take refuge, I would like to show you a shrine setup and this is actually comes off the shrine behind me. I've lined up 8 offering bowls. And these 8 offering bowls are offerings to the deity and to the spirit world. This is a kata that Prajnaparamita just offered me, which is one of the 8 offerings. So here we have the first offering bowl, which usually we offer on any shrine, which is water for drinking, or some kind of nice liquid like tea or juice or even alcohol. Then we have what we call the other offerings that we appreciate and that the deities appreciate and that the spirits appreciate. The second one is water for bathing. The third one is water for drinking. Water for drinking, water for bathing.
Okay.
Huh?
Flour.
Oh, and then we offer flour, then incense, then light. And behind the light bowl, I have a candle. Then perfume. Then food. Then perfumed water, then food, and then music or nice sound. So each of these, the first 2 have water, the third one has flowers, the fourth one has incense in it, the 6th one has a crystal in it, or in this case, 5-colored light. This one has a little perfume box, that's scented water, and then food, and then music is a little bell. And then all of that is under a cloth, which is, we call kata, which is your clothing or whatever you use to sleep in and so forth. So those are called the 8 auspicious offerings. And in Tibetan Buddhism, the shrines may have this in huge bowls, but all the Dharma centers have the 8 types of offerings. So I'm showing you that. Then I have a little picture of Karmapa when he was a child with his black hat. Because the Lama and the deity, in this case Prajnaparamita, which is female goddess of Buddha, Bodhisattva, Buddha, wisdom, a symbol of your innate nature as the mother, ultimate mother. So all of that could be how you set up your shrine. And if you can do it with just water and food, that's a little incense or a candle, well, that's whatever you can come up with. Now we start the refuge. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, who are our mothers, we now all together take refuge and when possible offer prostration. So that is the altruistic motivation of Tibetan shamanistic Lamaism or Bodhisattva training. And that is unique in all forms of spiritual practice on the planet today. Next, we take refuge with the 6 supports of shamanistic Lamaism: the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, the Lama, the deity, and the protectors, Dakini. And I'm going to chant it first in Sanskrit, this first prayer of the altruistic motivation. Then I'm going to chant this refuge prayer. First, the altruistic motivation. Dag dang jowa namke ta dang yampe sem chen tam che du di ne jung te ji si jang shu ning po la chi ki bardu. Then the refuge. Dalden Lama Dampa Nam La Chap Su Chio Yedam Shokor Gi Latso Nam La Chap Su Chio Sanjay Chom Dende Nam La Chap Su Chio Dampe Chur Nam La Chap Su Chio Pape Gandum Nam La Chap Su Chio Awo Gandro Chokyum Sume Sho Yesheki Shandong Dempa Nam La Chap Su Chio. The refuge prayer in Canadian goes like this. We go for refuge to all the glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the idams, who are the deities gathered in our mandala practices. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have conquered the mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble Sangha. We go for refuge to all the Dakas and Dakinis, who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these possess the eye of transcending awareness. Then we do the Bodhisattva 6 perfections. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chognam La Jangshu Bardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Jenso Jipe Sonam Ki Jola Panjur Sanjay Jupar Sho. In English, the 6 perfections are: to the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. The refuge prayer and the Bodhisattva 6 perfections prayer should be chanted in either English, Tibetan, Canadian, whatever, 3 times at the beginning of a formal meditation or yoga practice session. And if possible, the refuge prayer should be done with prostrations in front of your teacher or in front of a shrine or a stupa or other appropriate representation of your wisdom nature, a statue, Buddha statue, or whatever is presented. Mahayana tradition of Tibetan Buddhism is not practiced in all Buddhist society. But most of the Buddhist traditions around the world today are Mahayana. And that simply means they're recognizing that this wisdom nature is innate in all human beings, animals, human spirit, and is whatever representation of a Buddha or Bodhisattva is presented. As I said before, as a temple, shrine, stupa, a picture of the deity, or the actual teacher. And Mahayana, Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana methods are practiced until you start to gain the realization that the teacher represents 3 aspects of your own wisdom nature. And the first one is the most important. It is called the all-pervasive nature of your wisdom nature. That's symbolized by Buddha statues, pictures, or male or female. For instance, Prajnaparamita represents this all-pervasive nature, Buddha nature, which means there's no limits to either the relative or ultimate nature of your mind. When you say the relative, well, you can think of all sentient beings. You can think of all the spirits. You can think of all the humans, and you can think of all the animals. You can do that. And that means you're entering into an infinite situation because they're uncountable. Infinite means uncountable, no limit. Then, with the Lama's guidance and the practice of the sutras, which have two stages, the creative stage and the wisdom stage, called the accomplishment stage, you slowly start to understand that this all-pervasive nature is the nature of the universe, which is your body and your mind together. And when you start to gain that kind of insight, you move into the state of voidness as the all-pervasive nature of everything, which simply means everything is radiant light with a vibratory state called space. And space is an element. And space cannot exist universally or in any situation without earth, water, fire, and air being part of that universal creative situation. And that's your body. Because your mother created your body out of earth, water, fire, and her space. And that all mother sentient beings are doing that. So Tantra, which we're going to practice tonight, is a method of this all-pervasive nature projecting into your physical situation with these deities, with their sounds, which are the vibratory energy, including their seed syllables, they call the creation vibration sound. The mantra was the action vibration sound. So that your body starts to become the deity. Then, with that in place, what you say starts to be the vibration of that energy of the deity, and your physical body starts to become a light body, which it is already, because it's completely made of atoms and molecules. The teacher that's called the Sambhogakaya. When you start to take the all-pervasive energy and use these symbols and sounds and mantra as practice, as method, then the body, speech, and mind of the Lama becomes your energy program. And that's universal. That's called the Nirmanakaya. There's a set of moral principles we call samaya connected to those three developing and causing you to become an evolutionary type of being, causing you to become equal to the deity. You already are, but you have to realize it. You have to accept it, have conviction about it, and never forget that the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, evolving into the Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Dharmakaya, and those words mean vehicles, is the ultimate state of awareness. And it has no boundaries. The all-pervasive nature of your mind includes everything and everybody. Therefore, you don't need judgment. You don't need to think, oh, this is good and that's bad, or this is supreme and this is less than, deprived, depraved, or not understanding. You start to understand this, And that universal understanding is awareness. And that kind of awareness you bring into your present situation with whoever and whatever you are. And what happens naturally is the negative tendencies that you brought from previous lives, like a shadow, we call it karma, start to be transformed into positive or more appropriate situations, which we call spiritual accomplishment. And all of the Sangha becomes your spiritual assistants or friends. I use the term Vajra brothers and sisters because we become like a huge family, an unlimited family. And that's what we're celebrating with the Christian condition of is familyhood. Jesus, Mary, Joseph. In the Catholic tradition, we're the spiritual family, and everybody knows that. So we're doing the same thing. And our mother is the female deity. Our father is the male deity. Bringing these two together creates the family of the spirit of loving kindness and compassion, universally applied. And I'm holding up this chart, which the Lamas helped us to form when we set up our Dharma Center on all the islands. And it has on one side 5 spheres, and on the other side, the symbols of the 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, space. That's what we're made of. But that's what everything in the universe that appears is made of. and they're not separate. There's no such thing as separation. Yes, they appear separately, but they're not separately. You can't have creation without those 5. And the basis of the progress towards highest spiritual accomplishment is connecting those 5 in your body with 5 states of wisdom awareness applied to whatever situation you find yourself in. And these help you to remove the judgment, the emotional clinging, and belief that this is real, solid, and permanent. It's not. The universe doesn't work that way. Your body doesn't work that way. Your situations are always changing. You're aging, and you're going to leave the body. Guaranteed. Every 7 years, they say you have a whole new set of atoms and things like that. When you start to bring these 5 spheres of mental activity together with your 5 elements of your physical body, you get healthier right away. But more importantly, you start to understand more and more how to stay that way. And you kind of say, well, happiness is important, but I don't need to be, I don't need to attach to that. Sadness is not good, but I don't need to have judgment towards that. You just start to move more and more and more into the middle, between these extremes. So that's Tantra. Tonight we're going to put these 5 spheres inside your body in 8 places. Usually we just put the 3, body, speech, mind. But tonight we're going to use 5 chakras: body, speech, mind, qualities, and activity. All together, using Tara as the mother principle of wisdom as the female deity, in union, that'll be the 5 elements, in union with the 5 spheres of awareness as the methods for good health. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and most importantly, highest realization of how all those are who we are in a good way. There's an empty mirror down here. I'm putting this in front of the empty mirror. The empty mirror is what you're born with. You start with a clean slate, then conditioned existence starts to distort everything.
Don't you start with karmic carryover? Karmic carryover? Karma?
Yeah, karma is how you get into here. That's your tendency. But you don't know what your tendencies are because they're subliminal. They're in that state of voidness. They come up whenever conditions arise to cause them to come up. That's a good application. That's why you take birth. That starts in the womb. But when you come out of the womb, hi, what's going on? That's where we're starting. So we're coming out of the womb. What is the first thing you do? You breathe. So we're going to do that. Sit with your back straight. Hands on your knees or in your lap. Hands comfortable position. Head slightly tilted forward. Mouth closed with the tongue resting against the palate. Breathe through the nose if you can, otherwise mouth's a little bit open. Eyes focus to the space and light 2 feet in front, maybe half open. Don't receive too much light energy. Don't have to be wide open. Just relax your gaze here. If you can't do that, it's okay to have your eyes closed. Bring your focus, your awareness, to your breath. Inhale, diaphragm expands. Exhale, diaphragm contracts, and the air goes out your nose to space. Breathe. Breathe like that. Starting with conscious breathing, then we start to apply the remedies of the element. In shamanistic Lamaism, we start with what is called the 3 lights prana yoga breathing practice. When you inhale, visualize the air coming in, which possesses the 5 elements, as white light filling your lungs. The middle breath, called the absorption breath, you visualize red light of energy flashing through every cell in your body. Bring these 2 codes of light together and visualize blue light being exhaled out your nose to space, filling space, going everywhere. The white light coming in is the 5 elements support of the universe itself. The red light is the energy of those pervading your body to keep you alive, healthy. Those two together are offered out the nose as blue light to space in support of everything and everyone. Do that. Then we're going to use the basis of the three lights meditation, which brings us into a state of calm abiding. Take your focus off the breath and imagine all three codes of light and energy create a tiny particle of energy in the center of your chest, creating what is called a bindu, chakra, in Tibetan tigli. And that tiny energy point, similar to an atom, is to center you in the center of an infinite state of spatial awareness, connecting your heart center to the infinite light of space as boundless. And that becomes the basis for all these wisdom practices. And you hold your focus there till space becomes a reality. You just contemplate it. You can't visualize it because it's space. It's empty, void. Then with your ability to imagine, you recreate that particle center, energy center in your heart chakra, and think or visualize that it becomes a small sphere of clear light, pure energy. And at that moment, you are entering into this three-dimensional situation in the same way as what happens when you take birth in the human condition. Then with your imagination, expand that small sphere of clear light until it forms one of the symbols of the five elements we use for the 5-element healing practice, which we're going to do now. And since we are using these practices tonight in the body, I'm going to have us use the symbol of a 6-sided sphere, yellow in color or gold, about the size of your thumbnail, about the size of a sugar cube. And you visualize this in the center of your heart chakra. And it becomes the application of healing energy for this healing practice of the 5 elements. The elements can't be separated, so when you have one element, you have the other 4. But you're specifically applying the energy of more of this element because it's your body. Visualize this cube, 6-sided gold cube labeled Earth, to move out in front of your body and up before your eyes, 2 feet in front. Visualize it there. The next step is to expand it in size to make a large room that you can see yourself just as you're sitting inside this 6-sided symbol of Earth. Receiving the full healing energy psychically into your physical form, just the way the Earth supports your life. Then visualize it to grow in size until you can see a large area of where you live, town, city, here in Hawaii, this island of Kauai, inside this 6-sided sphere, cube. In this way, you're applying the healing energy to all the beings and the environment in that area. Expand your awareness with your focus, imagining the cube to completely enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. Use this application to expand with your imagination the cube to completely enclose our solar system. All the sun and all the planets inside are billions of miles in diameter. Expanded in size to completely enclose our spiral disc-shaped galaxy. And move beyond the boundaries of your ordinary mind to merge with boundless space. No meditation. Simply contemplate space. It's right in front of your eyes. And now it fills your mind. And move from this state of contemplation by again into meditation, visualizing the six-sided cube to enclose the galaxy. Keeping focus and imagination together, shrink it in size to completely enclose the solar system. Shrink it in size to completely enclose Mother Earth. This beautiful yellow or golden box enclosing our Mother Earth. Shrink it in size to just enclose the city, town, or island where you live. Smaller and smaller to just enclose your body, just as it is. Receiving psychically all the healing energy and life support of our world, our universe, into your physical form. All the elemental support. Then end the meditation by bringing the six-sided cube to its original small size in front of your eyes. Bring it to chest level and into your heart chakra. Shrink it in size to a small sphere of clear light. Then to a tiny particle similar to an atom. Rest in the present moment and contemplate the all-pervasive nature of the infinite fabric of space. Relax. Be present. When in this universal situation of the all-pervasive nature of your mind is space, no judgment is necessary. It's neither good nor bad, high or low, inside or outside. Relax. Experience freedom from rationalization, concept. Then bring this developing state of awareness to in front of your eyes and spread it into your area of practice. And remember to dedicate the results to the benefit of all living beings, your mother.
Someone has a question. Padmasambhava says over and over, there are 6 elemental orbs. 6.
Yeah,
What is the 6th one?
the ultimate state of non-conceptual awareness.
It's an element? I guess it would
Oh,
be.
the 6th element is all the 5 elements together. It's like 5 fingers.
Okay.
Earth, water, fire, air, space applied separately for healing remedy. Same with the 5 wisdom.
So the 6th one is all.
Is the same hand, but in a more powerful position. The 6th one is the state that they don't exist at all in reality. They're simply the energy of the life support system, physically and mentally applied for healing. So yes, earth, water, fire, air, and space make everything, but actually they don't exist. The nature of everything is simply light and space. That's the 6th one. It's called voidness or sunyata.
They say, would it be on your head, the 6th element?
You can place it wherever you want. It represents everything and everybody without any separation whatsoever. It's the universal combining glue. Like I'm taking earth, water, fire, air, and space with these practices tonight as the 5 taras, and we're putting them together with the 5 Buddha families that are the antidotes to attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, and ignorance. Then we're taking this 5 and this 5 with practice and putting them together like I'm putting my hands together inside the body to accomplish physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual healing to gain ultimate realization of voidness. Mahamudra, Dzogchen. And more we start to relax in the reality that there's no such thing as time, which is the present moment of timelessness. And we start to realize the state of voidness, which is called Buddhahood, or that the ultimate state of awareness is simply energy itself. This universe. That's the nature of this whole world. How we see it, smell it, taste it, touch it, feel it, and think about it.
Thank you.
That answer your question?
It's Lyra. Thank you, she says.
And then you can make that any Lama you want because they all think that way. They all apply it that way. And maybe their methods are different, but they all reach that same view. And that view is called Dzogchen or Mahamudra. And in Tibet, Padmasambhava and Yeshe Selgyo were the initiators for that part of the planet. So we take the 5 elements and we move from the elemental stage into the spiritual stage, where the 6 applications of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha are the 3 jewels. They're called the 3 wish-fulfilling jewels of Buddhism. And then we merge those with the 3 Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajra as the Lama deity and protectors, Dakinis. So we have the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama deities, and Dakinis, protectors. That fulfills all of the transition from the ordinary human state into the ultimate state of maturity. That's all. In that state, you can't harm yourself, you can't harm others, and you can't harm the environment. Wherever you take birth, it doesn't matter in a body or not. And when I say in a body, man or woman, physically on a planet. There's nothing beyond that. That's the highest accomplishment. You don't need to go to heaven, ever. Oh. Phew. That relieves me of a lot of unnecessary stress. Sit with your back straight, eyes in front, mouth closed. Hands comfortable on the knees or in the lap, head slightly tilted. Soften your gaze to the eye, light and space in front. Breathe. Visualize the Lama representing all the Lamas of all the lineages of Tibetan Buddhism that have evolved from Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Indian masters, all the Tibetan masters, all the worldly masters today, represented by one teacher, man or woman, in front of you, your choice. From that guru in front of you, white light comes from the forehead of the teacher into your forehead. And you receive the accomplishment they call initiation, or Wong in Tibetan, of being the deity. The wisdom nature of that into you. Then you visualize red light coming from the throat chakra of the Lama in front into your throat. This is the application or permission to sound the vibration of the deity using prayer, mantra, your human voice. Then you visualize blue light from the Lama's throat, from the heart chakra into your heart chakra. And this is the mental wisdom transmission of knowing what this is and how to use it in all its applications. So knowledge and wisdom, energy flowing into you with three lights shining simultaneously. And with this transmission, you're moving from the Hinayana level of self-accomplishment into the altruistic motivation of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that this is for everyone. You're receiving the transmission as like universal. And when you can see those three lights shining simultaneously, the Guru merges into you like water into water. This is called the state of union or no separation to all the deities and all the lamas and all the Buddhas and all the Bodhisattvas that exist in a state of timeless applications. Universally applied through our awareness. Then you see white light in your forehead in a sphere with the vibration sound Om. A red light in your throat with the sound red light Ah, the sound of energy. And a dark blue sphere in your heart chakra, the blue light of ultimate healing. Then you bring these three into union by visualizing the white Om move down the central channel of your life force and merge with the red Ah. Those two together move down into the blue Hun. And the Hun becomes whatever seed syllable of whatever deity or Buddha or Lama application you are using, Sutra, Tantra, Mahayana, Vajrayana, however you're applying it. And now you become the Buddha Vairocana. And a white Om appears in your heart chakra. And together with that, the sound of the female deity, Vam, the sound of space. So the Vam and the Om merge together, and you now visualize in that chakra the white tar in union with the white Buddha Vairocana, where all knowledge and insight are usable, are appropriate, whenever and wherever it's necessary. To activate this, you first sound the white Tara mantra 21 times. And after the 21st time, then the white Tara you see in union with the Buddha Vairocana, white in color, with Dorje and Bell behind her back, and she's holding a skull cup and knife behind his head. They're sitting on a lotus sun and moon seat in space with 5-colored light radiating from every pore in their body, in every direction. First, white Tara, the space Dakini. Om Tara, Tu Tare, Ture, Vam, So Ha. Om Tara, Tu Tare, Ture, Vam Om Soha. We'll say that 21 times. Om Tara Tu Tare Ture Vam Om Soha. 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 Om Tara Tu Tare Ture Om Soha. Om Tara Tu Tare Ture Vam 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 Om Soha. Establishing the mother principle of space, the all-pervasive nature of your consciousness, now engages the mental application of knowledge and insight together, which is the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama deity together as Vairocana Buddha. And white Tara is in union with this Buddha. In union means in sexual union, in your heart chakra. And you again sound the mantra, the Tara mantra, 21 times, visualizing male and female deity in union, and five-colored light go to all the six realms, the four spiritual realms, and wherever humans and animals take birth on planet. So those are the six realms of emotional confinement that all of us have been transitioning. Now we transform it into this state of universal awareness. Om Tara Tu Tare Ture Ram Om Soha. 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 Tara Tu Tare Ture Ram Om Soha. Om 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 Tara Tu Tare Churi Vam Om Soha Om Tare Chutare 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 Churi Vam Om Soha. Now we call all the dakinis, white in color, of all the 5 types of dakinis, Bodhisattva and Buddha dakinis, worldly gods and goddess dakinis, human dakinis, elemental dakinis, spirit dakinis, all merge into your heart center. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Om Sa Om all humans, animals, spirits are these deities, all merging into your heart center as these deities. The white Tara of space and the white Buddha Vairocana. And they dissolve into 5-colored light, and you relax in the present moment in spatial awareness. No meditation. Contemplate by remaining present and watching whatever arises as the nature of space and light. Sensually from your body's 5 states of perception, and mentally from judgment or thoughts arising and disappearing. Relax. Then you move from this state of accomplishment of Mahamudra, voidness, and the use of these two in the heart chakra deals with all states of ignorance, stupidity, bewilderment, not knowing, lack of knowledge, all of that. And gradually, with more and more understanding and experience, move into higher and higher states of realization that this is your natural state, equal to the natural state of everything and everybody around you. Then we move to the head chakra with this energy into a state of no separation. We visualize the blue Tara with the seed syllable Mom, merging with the state of no separation of the Buddha Aksobhaya, blue in color. Then the Tara arises with her mantra first, visualized in the head chakra. And the energy of the water element she represents universal, purification, clarity, the absence of attachment, but more importantly, the aversion which breeds attachment. And we purify that in our own physical form with this mantra of Om Tara Tutari Ture Mam Om Soha Om Tara Tutari Ture Mam Om Soha. You're visualizing in your head chakra Tara sitting on a lotus sun and moon seed. Om Tara Tutari Ture Mam Om Soha 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 Tara Tutari Ture Mam Om Soha Om 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 Tara Tutari Ture Mam Om Soha Tara Tutari Ture Mam Om Soha Om 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 Tara Tutari Ture Mam Om Soha. Then you visualize blue Tara, the water, Dakini in union with Aksobhaya Buddha, blue in color, Dorji and bell behind her back. She has hook, knife, and skull cut behind his head. Then you sound the mantra again 21 times. And this is a state of no separation on any level, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, pure, ultimate awareness. voidness, the nature of everything, space and light. Om Tara Chutare Chure. Mom Hum Soha. 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 And all sentient beings are dissolving into you as the five types of Dakini. All Buddhas and Bodhisattva Dakinis, all worldly goddess and goddesses, all human, all we call elemental spirits, all these types merging into you as Tara, Blue Tara, and Aksobhaya Buddha in union. Then you dissolve in five-colored light into space, the nature of your natural mind. Om Tara Chitara Turi Mom Om Soha. Then you arise in, excuse me, the red Tara, the fire Tara, elemental Tara, and she is everything that appears, everything that you see, everything that you think about, always present. Seed syllable wrong, merging with the seed syllable free, the ultimate state of discerning awareness that sees everything as light and space energy of Mahamudra. Amitabha Buddha. So you just visualize her in your lower chakra, 4 fingers below the navel, red in color, and sound her mantra. Om Tar Tutare Ture Ram Hri Soha. Om Tar Tutare Ture Ram Hri Soha. Om Tutare Ture Ram Hri Soha. Om Tar 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 tar churi ram ri so. Om 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 tar Chure Ram Hri So Ram Dar Chitari Chure Ram Hri So Dar Chitari Chure Ram Hri So Om Dar Chitari Chure Ram Hri So Dar Chitari Chure Ram Hri So. Then the red fire Dakini sitting on the lap of Amitabha Buddha in union. Then you say the mantra again 21 times with that visualization and move into the state of complete liberation, freedom from attachment, desire, lust, greed, all of these 24,000 afflictions transformed into this Buddha realm. Om Dar Chari Churi Ram Ri So 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 Dar Chari Churi Ram Ri So Dar Chari Churi Ram Ri So Dar Churi Ram Ri So Dar Chari 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 Churi Ram Ri So Dar Churi Ram Ri So Dar Chari 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 Churi Ram Ri So. Then all this light extended to all the six realms, all collected back into you. You and five-colored light disappear into the infinite light of space. Om Tar Jari Jari Ram Ri So Om Tar. Relax in the present moment, in the infinite light of your own ultimate nature, all pervasive awareness. And having transformed ignorance, anger, and desire, we move into the karma family of green Tara, visualized in the throat chakra, in union with the Buddha Amoghasiddhi, all pervasive action of body, speech, and mind to accomplish whatever is appropriate, whatever produces spiritual growth, physically, mentally, and emotionally, good health, all of that. So you become green Tara, sitting on the lap of Amoghasiddhi, calling in all the elemental energy of the air element. Saying her mantra, you visualize that in your throat chakra, the source of all powerful speech. Om tar tu tare ture yam ah so ha. Om tar tu tare ture yam ah so ha. Tar tu tare ture yam ah so ha. Tar tu tare ture yam ah so. Om tar tu tare ture yam ah so ha. 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 Tar tu tare ture Yama so Antar Chitari Churi 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 Yama so darja darja Yama so darja darja Yama so. So this is the purification of of the mind's physical energy associated with prana, breath, air, now to merge with the Buddha Amoghasiddhi, the accomplishment of all of the energy programs of the universe in cooperation with your mental, emotional predisposition, all your tendency transformed into auspicious activity to the benefit of all living beings of the sixth realm. All of them are the same as you are visualizing the union of these two deities in your throat. Om Tar Chitari Churi Yama 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 Tar Chitari Churi Yama Om 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 Tar Chitari Churi Yama Soha. Now, green Tara in union with green Amoghasiddhi, the Buddha purifying jealousy, envy, coveting, aggrandizement, any ego dualistic fixation, all subject object dichotomy purified. Om Tar Chari Chari Yama Yama So Tar Chari Chari Yama So Tar Chari Chari. And we reappear as the yellow Tara in the navel chakra, the earth goddess Tara, merging in union with Ratnasambhava, the Buddha Ratnasambhava, yellow or golden color. And we say her mantra to bring all of the Dakini energy of that to all the six realms of sentient being. This principle of wisdom, of equality, everything inside, outside, equal. Your energy in complete cooperation with the energy of the world around you. All emotional energy into the state of equanimity. It all becomes appropriate. All emotional programming becomes the mind of the deity as Ratnasambhava, in union with the earth goddess, your body. Om Tara Jajari Turi. Long Chom Soha, Om Tar Chari Churi, 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 Long Chom Soha. Om Tar Chari Churi Long Chom So 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 Om Tar Chari Chari Long Chom So. Om Tar Chari Chari Long Chom So. Om Tar Chari Chari Long Chom So. Ha. Then you visualize Tara in union with Ratnasambhava. His bell and Dorji behind her back, skull and cup she's holding behind his head. In union in your navel chakra, power chakra. Om Tar Chari Chari Long Chom So. 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 Om Tar Chari Long Chom So. Om Tar Chari 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 Chari Long Chom So. Then both together the elemental energy of equanimity, everything equal, all the six realms equally apply to all the ultimate deities of the five Dhyana Buddhas and the five elemental Dakinis on the ultimate level of your natural mind, and then the gods and goddesses, and then the human condition, all the spirit world and the elemental energy. Om Tar Chari Chari Long. Then all the Dakinis merge into the Buddha Ratnasambhava, and all of that together into infinite light spreads everywhere. The earth Dakini, the state of equanimity, the nature of all sentient being. With this universal application, you rest in the present moment in voidness, like space, natural, relaxed. When you take all the wisdom energy as the taras and merge them with all the insight activity of the five Dhyana Buddhas, when they all become one, the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and the space become all one, like this 5-tier of incense wrapped with yellow, green, red, blue, and white. Earth, water, fire, air, and space. It's attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, and ignorance, all into the ultimate state of the Buddha. And since we use the Tara as the wisdom element and the Buddhas as the how to use the knowledge and insight applications, then we finish with the Buddha of the Buddha Dakini. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. This is the sixth and ultimate realization, and there's nothing beyond that. It is the nature of everything in the universe and the mind essence of all sentient beings. So Prajnaparamita, the mother of perfect wisdom, is how we finish this practice tonight. And if you apply that to all what you think, say, and do, that's the sixth level of realization, ultimate timeless awareness. Tadyatha, Om, Gate, Gate, Para, Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Om, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Om, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Om, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Om, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Om, Gate, Gate, Para Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Gate, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Tadyatha, Para Samgate, Bodhi Soha. Bodhi Soha. Gate, Gate, Parasamgate Bodhi Soha Gate Gate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha Gate Gate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha Gate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. We finished tonight's practice with the dedication prayer from Lama Rinpoche's book, The Story of All of Us Simply Said. This is on the last page. By this merit of practice, may all beings gain omniscience and defeat all the enemies that harm them. Thus may they be liberated from this world, which is like an ocean disturbed by the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. I dedicate all this merit that I may follow in the footsteps of the heroic Manjushri, who knows all things, and the truth of the essential nature of these things, and of Kunto Zangpo and Kunto Zangmo too. Through this virtue of these practices, may all beings gather the accumulations of merit and awareness. May they obtain the two supreme kayas which arise from merit and awareness. By the blessing of the three bodies of the Buddha being pleased, by the blessing of the truth of this Dharma itself being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of us, the Sangha, being unwavering, may this and all dedication prayers be fulfilled. May all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and may all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy, free of suffering, established in bliss and equanimity. Kewadi Nudu Da, Shagya Champo Jugerne, Chova Shingi Malupa, Jai Sala Koparsho, Sanjay Kusum Nempai Chim Ladam, Shodi Maker Nempai Chim Ladam, Gendu Miche Dumpai Chim Laki, Chitar Gomwa Mon Mam Ju Parsho. All the lamas have happiness, good health, long life, and prosperity. May all their wishes be fulfilled. Now